Hello everyone, and now welcome to a 2v2 matchup here on Hillsbad Creek. This is going to be JusTDoIT and Fukaimori going up against, well, FAil.Life and Fabi. Fukaimori spawning under the name Raven TT. This is an undead orc versus an undead human matchup, as we see Fukaimori spawning as the teal undead and JusTDoItPLs spawning as the teal orc. They're going up against a red human Fabi and FAil.Life off over here as while playing under the name Life. So Life, Fabi, all of them having slightly different names, or many of them having slightly different names than their normal handles. We'll see what gets underway in this 2v2 matchup. Now, I like 2v2 matchups because it really puts pressure and time and synergy, well, as an important aspect of the game, obviously understating or stating the obvious here. And we are already getting underway once more. Archmage going to be trained up by the human player. Meanwhile, we are looking at most likely a Death Knight coming in. No, it is going to be a Crypt Lord coming in from Life. So Life opting to go a little bit wide here with this army, will be using ghouls, Rod of Necromancy, and getting a lot of beetles to try and perhaps creep out a lot of these green creep camps and grow that army until it gets that much more powerful. Meanwhile, Fukaimori, also Raven TT, I'll probably be swapping between the two names, going for Crypt Lord as well, and going for a Farseer. So it is going to be two Crypt Lords, and then a classic matchup between the Archmage and that Farseer here. Farseer opening up with Warmail Headhunters, it appears, and the Farseer maybe just trying to put in a bit of pressure already out of the gate with Spirit Wolves. We'll see if the players try to run towards each other quickly, or if perhaps they are going to be trying to put pressure onto their opponent's side of the board. Archmage is already out on the battlefield here. Where is he going to try and creep? And he's going to be able to creep away from where his opponent is expecting him. There is a number of green creep camps all across the map here, as the Archmage now coming in from the north, going to be heading down into the south. Farseer coming in with Spirit Wolves. Do we see an Arcane Tower? We do. It does have a little bit of time before it is going to be finished, as a Footman now makes its way in. Militia now being called back over. Going to go ahead and be pulled back here, making sure to get that low hit point, trying to get into a little bit of a committed section, as the Arcane Tower needs to be repaired and will be repaired. Back down to the south here, Archmage dropping in Water Elementals, trying to put in pressure onto Raven's side here, as the Arcane Tower now going to be able to put in quite a bit of pressure and, well, stop all of that attacking goodness. Meanwhile, ghouls going after the acolytes here. It looks as though a bit of damage is going to be coming back across. We could be looking at some beetles joining in on the battle. There is some skeletal minions already out here onto the battlefield. I don't see what ability this is just quite yet, as the Crypt Lord now trying to make its way through. All right, there's some beetles now joining in on the battle. He's going to get swarmed in across on the other side here. Water Elemental trying to offer in a little bit of protection as they're trying to break free. Water Elemental, well, in the Rubian Tower putting in a bit of cold pressure, as ghouls are going to try and get taken down there. One more hit on that ghoul. It does get taken out, as the Crypt Lord is coming back around here, perhaps to try and get in a little bit more beetles or Rod of Necromancy going. Units heading back off to the north here, going to end up getting surrounded. The Cold Tower, the Nerubian Tower, able to slow down the movement speed of that Crypt Lord and pretty much shut that down there. Raven, or Fukaimori, able to defend against here, but has lost a good number, I believe, of acolytes, as the units are still all retreating back. So far, 104 gold there. It now needs to train up a bit more. More acolytes now making their way back down, as the Farseer trying to put in a bit of more pressure against Life's units, and looks like it will be able to get one final shot off there. Hero level advantage for Teal in Fukaimori. In Fukaimori and JusTDoItPLs, as the Crypt Lord is at level 2 and that Farseer is also halfway to level 2. Coming back around, Archmage being forced to do some militia creeping against the Goblin Merchant shop now, as his partner in crime, that hero, will be resurrected. So far, though, the Farseer could be looking to get in a little bit of damage here, trying to protect that one ghoul, and will be able to do exactly that. One more or two more shots, as the Farseer still not yet at level 2. Meanwhile, Raven is going to be heading back down to the south here. Does have a good number of units, maybe trying to, yes, get down a sacrificial skull, and then trying to clear out this creep camp. A quick purge onto a beetle, though. The ghoul was not the first to get off that attack, hence the purge going onto a summoned unit. coming back across here. Farseer should be able to get to level 2, so it is 2-2 going up against now the Crypt Lord trying to get to level 2. He has an extra Rod of Necromancy, and the Archmage now already at level 2 as well, with Vampiric Aura, able to do a bit of additional damage while healing those footmen and the ghouls and skeletal minions and Crypt Lord if they are nearby. Coming back around Farsi, are going to go and engage here. Panda now out here onto the battlefield. Are we going to see a Drunken Haze? No, just a Breath of Fire across that back line. Not much damage to be done as the units were able to all retreat back here. Meanwhile, Archmage now looking to back up here. You can see that the footmen are regenerating a little bit of hit points, but taking quite a bit of damage as well as the Farseer comes in with the Chain Lightning. Coming back around, there's another Breath of Fire hitting many of those Headhunters. The Headhunter damage starting to add up more and more as the Brewmaster could be in a little bit of trouble. We do see a bit of Defend reflecting damage back. Tome of Knowledge could be useful here. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire across all those units? We are, but that damage is not adding up to be enough of anything here as the Brewmaster, well, may need to pick up a Tome of Knowledge as the Archmage, the Rogue Wizard lets a footman escape. Back across to the other side, more damage across multiple units. Ghouls getting taken down. The Crippler trying to sneak on through, but this seems like just an absolute blast as Raven going to get in a good amount of kills there, but unable to close in on the distance on those fleeing units. All right, Raven now needs to back up onto his own or onto his opponent's Blight to try and heal up here. Meanwhile, Life is still putting in quite a bit of pressure. All of those ghouls are able to retreat away, and so many surrounds. There's a quick roar right there, and well, with the quick use of the roar, it looks as though all of those units are going to scroll Town Portal and make sure to break that surround. Continuing this fight once more, Beetles are continuing to engage ghouls, trying to swarm in on here on the other side, and this is just a constant battle trying to figure out where the actual party is going on as the Archmage and the Panda now running off into the Orc base. Meanwhile, it's going to be a 2-on-1 fight inside the life space here as the Necropolis will be finished taking a tier 2 in just a moment. No Scroll of Town Portal inbound coming on in instead, and here comes the Archmage here. There's the Panda, there's a Breath of Fire blowing over a couple of ghouls already as that damage is already adding up. Archmage seeing that level 2 does have Vampiric Aura for all of his brethren here as more attacks are getting underway. Archmage could be in a little bit of trouble. Takes a potion of healing as well from the shop and now is trying to put in pressure or will stop some of the pressure that's coming in from the other side. This is just a constant battle on both sides as we're still looking at the Panda and Fabi just putting in a great effort to keep this army alive here. That Vampiric Aura helping out just a little bit, but the Farseer with all of those Headhunters and now the Shadow Hunter offering a bit of support, able to keep many of these units alive. Level 4 now on the Crypt Lord of Raven for Fukaimori, as we're still looking at more pressure coming in here. Priest now trying to join in on the battle, unable to do so as there is a wall of Headhunters able to blast in a lot of damage, and as those Priest with their unarmored armor type taking bonus damage from each of those attacks. Farseer, Headhunter looking to retreat back here. More Beetles trying to engage here with Raven still sticking around in this battle for a little bit longer than perhaps he should, as the Beetles need to be in that frontline spot. Not enough mana on the Teal Army's heroes to really continue this push, but they don't seem to care. They're just trying to actually get in some critical damage here, but are they going to be overstaying their welcome? Water Elemental now taken down as well, as the Priest are now trying to come in from the backside here. That's going to be a very dead Priest if he's not careful, as the Priest gets walked away at 30 hit points again. All right, Panda able to stay alive there with a potion of healing. More engagement, more Headhunters joining in on the battle. Panda still sitting at level 1, doesn't have enough mana. There goes an Impale across multiple units. Panda wants a little bit more mana as we see level 3 now on that Crypt Lord. More damage going on to some of those other units here as the Priests are finally able to join in with the rest of the fight once again. All right, Beetles now trying to make their way back, as Raven now running back off to the north, running in the opposite direction of home, but needs to try to find a way to break it back, or bring it back home here without using that Scroll of Town Portal. All right, we're looking at a possible Impale on this Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord already possibly getting surrounded, trying to double back around and getting swarmed in up against the trees here. That giant Crypt Lord body unable to make its way free, as it does have one carry-on beetle. Oh, there goes the Impale, and that may force the Scroll of Town Portal right there. Coming back into the center, Farseer sitting at 3, Shadow Hunter going to get to level 2 off of this creep cap. Meanwhile, the human army sitting at level 3, level 2, and I believe, yes, level 3, level 1 onto that Death Knight, as the units do all try and retreat back. All right, first reprieve after a lot of fighting. Raven able to put in a lot of pressure on the opposite side of the map, and now purposely setting up and making a difference economically, sitting on well, an additional base here. How much gold has he mined more than the other side? It is about 1,500 gold, and that is just going to continue to grow. The question is whether or not by putting pressure on the other side of the map did they give their opponents too much of a hero level advantage. We are looking at level 3 on the Archmage and on the Archmage and the Panda here. Meanwhile, the Undead sitting at level 3, level 1, so 3-3-3-1 going up against, well, Raven or Fukaimori only has one hero, so 4-3-2. Farseer of Just Do It Please should be able to get to level 4 here. We are looking at Berserkers now joining in on the battle. A little bit of bonus hit points, able to increase their damage as well. And that may be exactly what the Doctor ordered. As we're looking at the Red Army now pushing on inside here. This is dual base, and this is a bit of a problem. Raven needs a little bit of help here. It does have Crypt Fiends, has a lot of bugs, but there is just so much damage across all of these units here. And just a 2-on-1 fight. No Scroll of Town Portal inbound as of yet, and not that much mana. This is a bit of a problem as, well, really not much can be done here. Militia now coming in as well, and are we perhaps going to be looking at towers as well as the Headhunters come across here and now finally poking on pressure off from the other side. All right, a bit of a bad position here as the Undead is not fighting on Blight while his Orc partner is. Both sides trying to get into position once more as the Archmage now comes across here. There are a bunch of peasants now trying to build up an arcane vault amongst the battlefield here to perhaps try and bring a little bit of that home field advantage. Surround potential onto some of the units here, but both sides suffering a large amount of damage as Life able to throw up many of those units up into the air and continue to try and put pressure back. All right, Panda may be in a little bit of trouble, down to 157 hit points. He may end up getting taken down. One more shot would have been enough, but no, not enough mana there to try and finish it off. Meanwhile, the Panda is going to end up getting healed back up and now having an Arcane Vault to try and finish things through. Meanwhile, that Vampiric Aura actually working quite a bit of magic across all of those footmen. As you can see, they're constantly getting healed, but as the transition to Spellbreakers happen, that item may be sold. Panda does pick up a potion of healing back up to 560 hit points after all of that aggression here, but now they have no real way of retreating as the Farseer Shadowhunter coming back around. But we do see that the Death Knight and the Crypt Lord is here as well as they're putting in the pressure. Tomb of Relics could be in a little bit of problems. Farseer going after one of those Crypt Fiends, going to take it down as both sides are still fighting off on the other side here. So far, Fabi and Life are still holding it together here. They have that Arcane Vault, but they haven't really done enough damage to try and justify this almost all-in scenario with so many of these peasants here. Death Knight could be in a lot of trouble. There is a quick stomp. Death Knight gets taken down as the Death Knight falls at level 2. Off to the north here, we're looking at a bit of separation. Spellbreakers going after some of those units. The Beetles are now making their way back over as well, trying to do a little bit of swarming back on the other side and able to get in a bit of damage across those poor Berserkers with their medium armor. All right, still constant battle and pressure here as the Crypt Lord does get up to level 5, as Raven does finally get up that Death Knight for a little bit of heals, no longer going for that solo Crypt Lord. All right, perhaps a potion of mana. Oh, there goes a Hex onto the Crypt Lord. The Crypt Lord is going to be able to escape away. It looks like it should be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal. No stomp in time as the Panda, well, and the Archmage are now going to be left by themselves in a 2v1 fight. Are they going to perhaps use a Scroll of Town Portal and head out? Yes, they are, realizing a 2-on-1 fight in this scenario. Not quite, not quite okay at all. We are going to Tier 3 by Fukaimori, aka Raven. Meanwhile, off over here, we're already at Black Citadel, getting up some Obsidian statues. This is all, well, 2-base play for the red team, 3-base play coming in for the teal team, as this gold advantage may continue to just grow and grow. Currently a 4,000 gold advantage and growing, as well, everyone is currently most likely back into low upkeep. All right, 44. We are looking at 60. Nope, never mind, take it back. 47 and 33. So yes, Just Do It Please with a slight advantage, currently sitting in a low upkeep, but really needs to train up a bit more units, perhaps transfer a bit of gold to Just Do It Please, so he's no longer sitting in that low upkeep purgatory where you just can't, where you wish you were either had higher supply or were in no upkeep and avoiding all of that taxation. Coming back around. Coming back around. Fabi able to finally clear off that north side expansion. Meanwhile, here on the south side of Hillsbad Creek, we're looking at Raven getting in a bit of experience. Is the Crypt Lord too close? That is actually my question. Raven's Crypt Lord may actually be unintentionally stealing a bit of the experience that the Death Knight could be getting. Yes, I believe that the Crypt Lord is just simply not far enough away, and the Death Knight, well, could actually be higher up in or closer to level 3 here. As how much experience? Yeah, that might be far enough away, as the Death Knight still wandering around here. All right, looking for expansions. No additional expansions have been placed. Going after now a difficult red creep camp. These are the granite golems and rock golems. The rock golems do deal normal damage, so those crypt fiends do end up getting taken down pretty quickly. Crypt Lord purposely staying close by this time around because, well, it would be difficult for the Death Knight to clear this creep camp on its own. All right, after the first rock golem is down, finally that Crypt Lord is backed away enough, as the Death Knight trying to get to level 3 will be able to do that off of this granite golem here. Is going to death coil the Harrion Beetle. No, he doesn't. Takes a boulder, as the Death Knight absorbs a bit of damage right here. A lot of focus fire once more. All right, a little bit of damage coming back. Tome of Intelligence +2. We are looking at War Song Battle Drums in addition to Unholy Aura, going to be able to move across really quickly. Meanwhile, it looked as though, well, fast expansion right there, getting this expansion up and running quickly, but a couple of quick ensnares and the scout tower not being operational will bring this to an end. All right, a little bit of damage. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 4. There is a quick Farseer being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal to head away and will be able to head back home. Meanwhile, Scroll of Town Portal coming back across the other side here, as the level 5 Crypt Lord and the level 3 Death Knight are trying to retreat away. No Stormbolt, nothing to really punish that Death Knight, who is a bit slowed and now trying to retreat away once again. Coming back through level 4 Shadow Hunter, level 4 Farseer, level 2 Tauren Chieftain, going up against a level 5 Crypt Lord, level 3 Death Knight. All back in the center once again. Beetle is going to be doing a little bit of scouting. The economic advantage has finally been neutralized, but is it too little, too late? As Raven or Fukaimori and JusTDoiTpLs able to move on in, we see a big blizzard followed by an impale, stopping that level 2 blizzard from racking up too much damage. Archmage is going to try and get another blizzard across multiple units again, but quickly gets hexed once more, and it's going to be controlling that Archmage's AoE damage. More blizzard being rained down and finally getting hexed again, as we see stomps now coming across and impales coming across that front line positioning. All right, units trying to retreat their way back. Ooh, big stomp right there. Death Knight gets taken down even before the stomp, but really had no way out whatsoever. Raven now trying to retreat back with his own Death Knight, down to 96 hit points, and he looks like he will not be able... No, he's able to escape at 30 hit points. Meanwhile, more blizzard still raining down here. Well, as with a level 5 Panda, level 4 Archmage, the Panda actually out-leveling the Archmage here after all that said and done, as the Panda now going to try and perhaps get a Breath of Fire across multiple units. Does get it with the Potion of Invulnerability. Archmage going to go after those units. Tauren Chieftain falls. Panda still in a little bit of trouble. Archmage trying to retreat back here. Where is the rest of the healing going on, as the Death Knight and the Archmage may both end up getting taken down? Death Knight coming back across here. Death Knight could end up getting taken down as well. Multiple heroes being felled on both sides. Level 5 Brewmaster, level 3 Death Knight now falling, as the Lich may also get taken down as well. There goes the Lich. Level 3 now on the Lich of Life. Level 5 now on the Crypt Lord, as well as the level 3 Lich falls. I think we have seen more hero kills in this game than, well, I don't know. This one battle right here, this 2-minute section, multiple heroes falling on both sides, as the Destroyer now out to play as well. All right, getting in a little bit of damage, perhaps a little bit of Devour magic will be needed. Crypt Fiend ends up surviving, as we're looking at these units trying to retreat back once more. sloppy fight or just misdirection and constant change in focus. That was the problem there. Meanwhile, the Shadow Wolves will be able to get in here. There is no arcane tower, so the Shadow Wolves will be able to get in a large amount of damage on this gold mine location. As the units are retreating back once more, fighting on Blight. Life sitting with level 5 Crypt Lord here trying to defend with a level 2 Death Knight alongside him. We are looking at the Lich trying to get resurrected back as well, as they're going to try and hold this line. Obsidian statue here, and now we're looking at, well, a level 5 Panda, level 4 Archmage coming back in from the north. There's Blizzard, there's Breath of Fire. That is a lot of damage across multiple units, and nothing to really stop that Archmage just quite yet. No ensnares. Archmage picks up a potion of healing. Gonna dive back in all the way to the back here, trying to put in more pressure. There's a Breath of Fire blowing over more units as they're still trying to retreat back out. There's a Death Coil down. Death Knight staying at level 2, has a potion of healing, may be forced to use it here, as PTR still running around trying to put pressure back and able to blow over a little bit more damage again. PTR off to the, or Fab 1 off to the north here. All of the peasants were taken down. No more mining whatsoever. Red Army currently back only on 2 bases again, as we are looking at a transition to 4 bases for the Teal Army. Fight back in the middle portion of the map here. There's a quick impale. Farseer could be in a little bit of trouble. Maybe going to be forced to use the Scroll of Town Portal, and that is going to leave, well, Raven with an uncomfortable situation as he's going to try and retreat back as well. Crypt Lord unable to get the last impale and finish off that Obsidian statue, trying to close in on that distance, but it looks like it's not going to be enough, as the second base here should be up and operational in just a moment, or second expansion, excuse me. Off to the north, the Shadow Wolves doing their thing, able to run all the way back into that back line and constantly stop any of that mining. Level 6 now on the Crypt Lord of Raven, as we may now have access to that Locust Swarm. Level 4 now on the Death Knight as well. Faster movement speed with that level 2 Unholy Aura to close in on that distance. Yeah. I will say this, in a 2v2 fight, it is often, like, if you watch 2v2 fights, even in with professional players, it is often sloppy just because of the amount of units on the battlefield. The amount of units on the battlefield, the necessity to try and coordinate your attacks between 2 players, knowing who to focus on. And then once you focus on a hero, suddenly, if you focus on a hero, you gain a little bit of an advantage, but you may not realize that you've overcommitted. And then that's what ends up happening. You have this sort of exchange of heroes. One player loses a hero, another player loses a hero, another player loses a hero, and then it just continues to cascade as both sides just gain large amounts of experience. So that's what often happens in a 2v2 fight with large number of units, as both sides were doing a great job at the start getting in the AoE damage with Breath of Fire and Blizzards, being able to counter the AoE damage of Blizzard with Impales and Hexes, and just constantly trying to close in on that distance there. Death Knight going to stay at 3, Lich going to stay at 3, Crypt Lord taking a little bit of unnecessary experience there, as we see a Helm of Valor, Strength and Agility for that Death Knight. So Death Knight now already at 1,000 hit points, staying at level 3, now making its way back down to the south here. We're looking at a potential another base here. Yeah, that Great Hall already done. It looked like it was a tiny hall or pocket hall being set up here. So we see 1, 2, 3 mining bases for Teal, and going up against, well, Red's army here, which is going to be a little bit of a difficult problem to overcome. Doesn't have the economy. Their armies are a bit small, and as long as JusTDoiTpLs and Fukaimori don't throw the game away, they should be absolutely fine. Both of them sitting in low upkeep, with JusTDoiTpLs still training up more and more berserkers. All right. Wolves now making their way down. Acolytes going to try and make their way down to the south here to see if an expansion is possible, and quickly realize, wait, when did our opponents take this expansion off here? All right, a little bit of damage onto this position once more as Crota Sensei. Yes, thank you. Breath of Fire coming back around. And now, well, a little bit of overcommitment by the undead here comes in from the south side. Both sides going to engage. Impales coming straight off the bat. Impale another one off the bat there as AoE damage from the Breath of Fire, and also a carry-on or Locust Swarm coupled with Breath of Fire. All of these units are fighting here, and this is just a mad... You can't even describe everything that's happening here as Chain Lightning bounces around, finishes off the Archmage, also finishes off a Death Knight here as so much damage is just getting added back up. So far, it looks as though the Teal army is right here, and there is the GG as the rest of the army continuing to battle it through once more. So far, there is the final victory, and let's take a look. Raven and JusTDoiTpLs coming out with the victory right there, able to outlast their opponent, really standing on the shoulders of the undead's additional resources, being able to build up that larger army. That final fight, whenever you come in with a dual Scroll of Town portal, it's always a bit scary as your units are generally clumped together. You saw how much damage that initial Breath of Fire, Frost Nova, Blizzard was able to deal, but they quickly neutralized the Archmage, preventing too much damage from that Blizzard. A couple of Impales later, coupled with the passive damage, ongoing damage of that Locust Swarm, able to give, well, Raven and JusTDoiTpLs the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.